All right, I want to take a look at gold in this video. I think in the next several weeks, gold and the metal sector in general is setting up for what may turn out to be the best trade of the year. um, as we neared 1800 here, I did a couple of reports for the premium subscribers. This very often happens, an obvious resistance zone. You'll get early profit taking. So, smart money that bought down here and they've ridden this move all the way up, and obviously 1800 is a major resistance zone. And let me widen the chart here. All right, so you can see this triple top here as gold was starting its bear market. This is a major resistance zone. As I've noted in a couple of previous videos, very unlikely that gold is going to break through this resistance on the first try. So as I was saying, as price nears this kind of resistance, there's going to be early profit taking. Let me go back to the daily chart here. So there's going to be early profit taking. So the people that bought down here, they see this major resistance. They've made enough to where they don't really need to keep pushing this for a full test, and so they start to take profits early, and that's why you get this early corrective move before price actually does hit that resistance. And very often what happens is you'll get a little profit taking, and then the dip buyers will come in, they'll buy the dip, and you'll come back up, and then you'll get a full test of resistance. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen here. Is we're starting to get close to oversold. Let me convert the RSI indicator. So what I'm expecting is we'll get a bottom here, as I pointed out in some of my previous videos. During the advancing phase of an intermediate cycle, price tends to bounce pretty quickly once RSI gets oversold. So I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of downside still left in this little pullback before we bounce up, and my expectation is we get a full test of this 1800, maybe even a marginal break above it. That's very often how these tops will form, and that's by design. Big money will create some kind of a marginal breakout that brings in the retail traders, that have been very nervous the whole time. They weren't willing to buy this. Then they get the breakout that soothes their emotions, and then they pull the trigger, and then the big money sells their positions to them, and then they get caught in the daily cycle decline, and they end up selling down at the bottom here. But we're starting to get oversold, so we should get a bounce probably next week to test this, and then like I said, we should have a deeper correction into what I would consider a true and full daily cycle low. And it's the rally out of that first daily cycle low in the second daily cycle that I think is going to produce a monster trade, maybe the best trade of the year in the metals, and specifically in the miners. And let me show you why. All right, so we've been building this base for almost 4 years now, and the rule is the bigger the base, the higher in space. So a breakout from this base should produce a very aggressive and powerful move. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen during the second daily cycle. Is we will get a sustained breakout. We may get a marginal breakout if gold pops back up to 1800, but then I think it would come back down below this breakout line again, and we would have to get our true daily cycle low, and then begin the next daily cycle before we get a sustained breakout of this. But this is a very large base. This should provide the energy for a very big, very aggressive move. Minimum, I think GDX would come up to this next resistance zone here between 40 or between, let's call it $39 and $40. It's even possible that price could slice right through this and make it up to the next a resistance zone around 55. Again, this is a very, very large base, should power a very big aggressive move. Minimum target would be here with an outside chance that the kind of force generated from this breakout could maybe slice right through this resistance and take price up to this next resistance level here at 55. So this, I think, is the going to be probably the trade, the biggest trade of 2020.